lighting up the region.
Right, it's the 21st of the month of June and it's a Friday, and this is where we are coming to the end of the discussions for this week. And tonight we are going to be joined by one of the officials and one person who has described himself as a lion in fighting corruption, and he happens to be our own, and we are going to be doing the discussion in relation to that. And I want to also welcome you back from the World Refugee Day celebrations. And I do understand yesterday we were together with the refugees as people of West Nile sub-region, as people of Uganda. At one time we were also as refugees in these countries, in South Sudan, in DRC, while growing up. By the way, one of those stories that my grandmother used to very much lament on is how life was during time of refuge in DRC and at one time also in South Sudan. But nonetheless, you are most welcome to the discussions, and we are joined by none other than Matua Job Richard. He is the Assistant Resident City Commissioner. But one thing first, we want to understand who exactly is Job Richard Matua as the first of the to open the discussions.
Yeah, thank you very much, my young brother Faris Majid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa barakatuh.
Today is Al Jumu'ah.
Yes, today is a Jumu'ah.
I wish you a nice prayer.
Thank you.
To the people of Western Isle and Uganda at large, Matua Job Richard is son of the soil of Western Isle, somebody from Kijomoro sub-county, Maracha district, and Greater Arua district. Actually, Arua had a previous Farid Majid.
Yes.
I don't know whether you are aware. Arua was made up of 7 counties. Yumbe, Terego, Koboko, Madiokolo, Aivu, Maracha, and Ivora.
And
so they have all become districts with the Aivu and the municipality making the city. So the people of Uganda, I am the Assistant Resident City Commissioner Arua City, and beyond that, I have been the Chief Executive Officer of Organization for Transparency and Advocacy, the civil society that effectively fought major syndicated corruption in Uganda.
Okay, it's good.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's good. I'm glad to be with you this morning.
It's glad to have you on the show as well, and we want to have a look at this corruption scandals happening in the country. And of late, we have seen arrests being made on some parliamentarians. I don't know what that means. He will be explaining to us what exactly that will mean.
Yes.
But really, one would ask, is this not going to be causing conflict between the arms of government, because it is the executive now giving the order to have the arrest on the legislature? Is this not going to be having an impact at the end of the day? Is it right for actually President Museveni to go on making arrests on these MPs, in your own opinion?
Thank you very much, my brother Faris Majid. To the people of Uganda, I want to first of all put the context to this discussion. Faris Majid, Uganda is governed by the rule of law. The people of Uganda, I have here with me the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Camera lady, if you could focus to the Constitution. The Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Currently, we have the 1995 version. The latest Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Faris Majid,
yes, sir.
Uganda had a number of constitutions. The Constitution that ushered us into independence, the Constitution that came after independence, then the pigeonhole Constitution of the late Godfrey Benaissa, and now this popular Constitution.
Which has been tampered on several times.
Now this one is the popular Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. So the people of Uganda is governed by the rule of law. Therefore, everything we do must be consistent with the provisions of the Constitution and other existing laws to give it effect. Then, second, to the people of Uganda, Uganda as a country has a vision called Vision 2040. Have you heard about this vision?
Yes, sir.
And I want to state the vision for the people of Uganda. Uganda want to become a transformed society from a peasant to modern and prosperous country within 30 years. Faris Majid.
Yes, sir.
That is the statement of the vision. And our forward marching to that vision, our progress, our advance to that vision, my brother Faris Majid and the people of Uganda, can be effectively stopped by some other factor, inhibitor. I'm sorry to use the scientific language.
Biology,
You know,
now.
my background is is very scientific. So one of these inhibitors is corruption. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
So people of Uganda, corruption right now has gone to industrial scale level. It has permeated to all aspects of society. It has even reached families. First Majid.
Yes, sir.
Women have started turned the money men give to support homes into corruption ventures. Okodosa senda danya musararo. Mi okwa tene desilingi feli fukaliri mamu akuma zakoni. Okoda na yo eresanga yo elfu modri zechi eretare nya musararo. That is corruption. First Majid. Now, therefore, the people of Uganda must know that if we want to reach Vision 2040 rightly, we then must fight corruption. This is the context I wanted to put to you to that effect.
Okay.
And therefore, fighting corruption becomes just and right. And everybody must do it. And I want to lay some constitutional provision to that effect. You know, when we come here to debate about these issues, we must be guided by the laws. First Majid, Uganda, the constitution has what we call structures.
Sure.
Under the structure of the constitution, we have what we call directive principles, national objectives and directive principles of state policy. What is the objective 29 say? Objective 29 of the constitution. You will allow me to read it in verbatim.
Surely, let's go on.
Yeah. Objective 29, the duties of a citizen. The exercise and enjoyment of rights and freedoms is inseparable from the performance of duties and obligation.
Okay.
And accordingly, it shall be the duty of every citizen to be patriotic and loyal to Uganda and promote its well-being. Okay?
Yes, sir. So in other words,
Now, loyalty to Uganda, patriotism to Uganda is to make sure that we don't do things injurious to the interest of the people of Uganda. But when we say to Uganda, I mean Faris Majid, my camera lady, and my other people who are watching us there. So loyalty to the people of Uganda means we must not do things which are injurious to the people of Uganda.
So in other words,
a moment. Then objective 2026, accountability. All public offices shall be held in the trust of the people of Uganda. All persons placed in positions of leadership and responsibility shall, in their work, be answerable to the people of Uganda.
But it is the people of Uganda, not the president.
To the people of Uganda.
Is it right for the president is taking right? This
The
is one thing I don't
president
understand.
has been put in that position as the chief executive officer by the people of Uganda. Remember, the people elected Uganda. The president of the Republic of Uganda. I wanted to read for you something. Article 1 of the Constitution then states something. The sovereignty of the people of Uganda. That all power belongs to the people who shall exercise their sovereignty in accordance with this Constitution. Two, without limiting the effect of clause 1 of this article, all authority in the state emanates, which means it starts from the people of Uganda, and the people shall be governed through their will and consent. Then Article 17, which is the last bit I want to read for you. Article 17, clause 1I. All duties, the duties of citizens. It is the duty of every citizen of Uganda to combat corruption and the misuse of wastage of state property, public property. It is the duty of all citizens to combat corruption and misuse or wastage of public property. Now, back to your question, Faris Majid.
Yes, sir.
Is it proper to arrest the MOPs?
Yes.
Yes. Is it proper to arrest the RDCs who are corrupt? Yes. Is it proper to arrest the cows and town clerks who are corrupt? Yes. Is it proper to arrest Faris Majid if he becomes corrupt? Yes. Is it proper to arrest any citizen who is corrupt? Yes. Because if we don't do that, we are going to delegitimize the government. The government will lose legitimacy. The government will lose popularity. And consequently, our forward thrust, our forward advance, our forward movement to Vision 2040, which is supposed to lift Uganda from peasant to modern and prosperous a country within 30 years, will be perfectly inhibited. So, Farid Majid,
Yes, sir.
it is very urgent that we must CD wash all government departments where we see
there's corruption.
corruption.
But the question now is that we have had several interventions being put at place. Look at the Inspectorate of Government and then the anti-corruption courts and the rest. And that is just the few I can be able to mention. But we have had quite many to make sure that corruption cases are dropped in the country. But these have not yielded much. Where has the challenge been? And why is it now that we are seeing the fight against corruption put at a top scale?
Now, one, the corruption has now gone to another level. I call it syndicated corruption, interconnected corruption, my people of Uganda. That is the case where government agencies collude to steal the people of Uganda. My boss, His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, who is the Chief Executive Officer of this country, who is the #1 person benefiting from first-class intelligence, has come out publicly to pronounce himself that there is corruption in Parliament involving officials from Ministry of Finance and some government accounting officers from different government agencies, Mr. Farid Majid.
Yes, sir.
So now we have syndicated corruption. That is the high-class level of corruption. So to fight that corruption, it therefore needs the head of state to lead at the forefront in effective assault of this dangerous vice called corruption. Now, the question, why is it that several measures that have been put in place have not yielded that much fruit? I want to lay down that there are missing links in our fight of corruption. Can I list them for you?
Yes, go on. Missing
link 1. We have inefficient, ineffective, and weak anti-corruption agency. To mention, Inspectorate of Government, which is an establishment of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, 1995. Article 226, Article 227 established the Inspectorate of Government, the IGG, and they gave it sweeping power to deal with corruption in any department or public offices, including private sector. That government agency had not lived to the test given to it in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda.
Okay.
The Directorate of Public Prosecution, do you know this one?
Yes.
DPP.
DPP, yes.
At this level, we have what we call state attorneys represented here. Then we have the Criminal Investigation Directorate. Then we have Anti-Corruption Unit of State House, plus other anti-corruption agencies. Farid Majid,
yes, sir.
These institutions, these agencies have not effectively fought corruption.
Somebody would ask why.
Very many reasons, including the unseriousness of the people put in those offices. Yes, and I don't have any apology whatsoever for saying that. Why should Madam Olive Betty Namisango come here, fail to effectively deal with corruption, given the powers she had?
Okay.
She was coming from opposition and blasting government seriously that the government was not fighting corruption. Now we have given her the mandate, the office to fight corruption. What is defeating her from fighting corruption? Farid Majid, give Matua that office for just 6 months.
Matua,
this country will be brought down to normal.
There are untouchables in this country. Those people who are as executive directors.
You mentioned for me one person who is untouchable.
I want to mention names, but you know, of late what has been happening with also really one of the ministers who had the scandal. I wouldn't want to go there, but you are aware of the story.
So okay.
I don't know what that means for those untouchables who are in the government, who have those godfathers, and how is that impeding the fight against corruption?
Yes, I'm coming to that, but I wanted to list at least 4 missing links, if you can allow me.
Yes,
I have just mentioned one. One which I said ineffective, inefficient, and weak anti-corruption agencies. 2, the people of Uganda. The people of Uganda have started glorifying wealth without understanding the sources of the wealth of the people. There are even women who refuse to date men who are not rich. I am a victim, Farid Majid. I'm a victim of a person being rejected by a lady because I was poor. Can you imagine? So if I had stolen money and perhaps then I looked rich by that time, the lady would have dated me. The lady refused to date me because I was poor. Why should Ugandans glorify wealth without understanding their sources? Why should the church leaders entertain obscenely rich people who steal public resources to come and try to appease them in the church? The glorification of wealth without understanding the sources is one of the missing links in our effective fight against corruption. Then breakdown of family. I've just told you that there is corruption in the family, where women have turned the money men give to support home into corruption venture. You give a woman 30,000, she will spend 15,000 and hide the other 15,000, and she collects it to pay herself salary. And she does not spend it on the family, she spends it on other things which the man does not know. So if you can such a woman then ask a man who stole public resources? If a man had stolen public resources, can such a woman ask the husband why he has stolen the public resources? So the collapse of that important institution called the family is one of the reasons we are not fighting corruption effectively. Then we have the tribal, or what we call regional alliances. Now some MPs have been arrested. You will begin to see the tribesmen pretending to come and defend their people, that it should be released, to try to politicize the fight against corruption. That kind of things continue to derail us. Then finally, Paris Majid, yes, corruption is a sin. The Quran that you read every day preaches against the sin. Has it stopped the Muslim from committing sin?
Definitely.
No. The Bible preaches against the sin. Has it stopped Christians from committing the sin?
Okay.
So therefore, corruption is the sin, and we must continue to pray against it. We must continue to fight it until it will leave humanity.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That is it in relation to the corruption scandals, but I don't know if at all the fight against corruption that we have taken course of right now is the right way to go. Could you say that what the president is doing right now is the best thing that we can...
I want to take one...
And why is it coming now? You talked about also really how the corruption has reached to another level. Are we expecting success at the end of the day?
First of all, I want to thank the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency General Retired Yoweri Tibuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, for this action he's taking to fight corruption. Faris Majid.
Yes, sir.
I tell you, with this approach alone, even the arrest of the 3 MPs, majority of the MPs even abandoned the parliament. Parliament became empty. Which means even if we condemn the one person and put to jail for 10 years, that will be deterrent enough to curtail the appetites of some of the corrupt people from doing such kind of thing. I am telling you, and my appeal to the president is that arrest as many as possible. Let us have 50 MPs convicted, send it to jail to Luzira, to Kitalia, bring some to Openjinji here there is a prison here in the Nile, in the midst of the Nile. People in West Nile here, what they will tell you that they are taking you to Openjinji, somebody will take to Congo, take off to Congo.
Okay, that is it, and we are going to be running for a short commercial break. This is the KOKOLIRIKO live show on West Nile TV, and we are live on StarTimes channel 477 and online across all our social media platforms. And today we are being joined by MATUA Job Richard. I hope you as the viewer is having a wonderful time. But for now, let's first run it for this short commercial breather that will be able to bring us back into the discussion. Stay tuned.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Kane, Sané, Griezmann, Lewandowski, and many more. Mbappe! Who is your European star? We You're very familiar with all German stadia. Trust us to give you the best Euro experience affordably. Catch the matches live on NBS Sport, channel 255 on antenna or channel 199 on Dish Decoder on Star Times. We got your stars. This message is brought to you by StarTimes Solar. StarTimes Solar, more than just solar.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break. This is still the KOKOLIRIKO live show on West Nile TV channel 477 on Star Times and online across all our social media platforms. And my name is Farish Majid. I'm today with Matua Job Richard, Assistant Resident City Commissioner for ARUA City, one person who has become an emblem of fighting corruption. And today we want to make insights into what is happening and also with the recent scandals related to corruption right from the top body, that is Parliament. We want to make an understanding of exactly what is happening and where maybe it went wrong, because we are seeing some parliamentarians now living in fear as other colleagues have also been arrested, and now we want to understand.
I hope there's no MP sleeping in the bushes.
I don't know, but we want to make sure that we want to have an understanding. Is it right for these MPs to award themselves? Because at the end of the day, given the nature of our politics, where it is so demanding, I don't know if you have ever organized a meeting where by the time you're leaving, people already writing names at the beginning of the meeting. People already writing names, meaning they expect Ambandudiri at the end of the day. That could also really be having an impact on to what is happening. What exactly does that mean? And could this not be able to contribute to the corruption among the parliamentarians? And is it not right for them to award themselves the monies that at the end of the day, which they may also really extend back to the electorates?
Yeah, thank you very much. My brother First Majid and the people of Uganda, thank you very much for coming back online. Before we went off air for commercial break, you had asked me a question about the untouchables. I want to tell the people of Uganda that there is nobody who's untouchable in Uganda. There is no law which says there is a group of people, be it members of first family, members of second family, or any family, or Matua myself, who is untouchable. Nobody is untouchable in this country. Everybody is under the law. Some people thought Mr. Richard Biarugaba, the former managing director of NSSA, was untouchable. What happened when I effectively took him on? The rest is history. By the way, NSSF now, from 17.88 trillion, we now have 21.3 trillion. In a record period of 1 year, the fund increased by a value of more than 3 trillion. What if we did this thing 20 years ago? By now, we would be having like 200 trillion portfolio. Government would not go out to borrow money. Government would borrow just from NSSF and pay back. And our economy, our ceiling would have appreciated. That's why I told the people of Uganda, you know, the matter was bordering to the people of Uganda, to the economy and the security of this country. First Majid, moving forward, you have about the arrest of MOPs. First Majid,
yes, sir.
The main role of Parliament is to ensure oversight of government agencies. Parliamentarians are supposed to carry out oversight. Oversight means to go and see whether the money they allocated for districts, for ministries, are really doing what the money is supposed to do. You get me?
Yes, sir.
Now MPs have gone to another level. But let me tell the people of Uganda why these MPs were arrested. At the eve of passing that budget, some of you MPs were locked into a room. They tampered with the budget. They readjusted the budget. They messed up 750 billion, putting it in areas of their interest, selfish interest, while other MPs of that budget committee were locked in a conference room A. So they were just made to sign, and then the rest of the MPs were made to pass that without scrutiny. That was a treason. That was a coup on the people of Uganda. And the president is right to take effective action. In fact, if possible, those MPs would be shot in public. What they did to Uganda was very dangerous. Can you imagine? The budget, by the way, budget is a function of the executive. The executive has prepared the budget and has brought to parliament to pass. How dare are you to go and try to distort the budget? What do you want for the people of Uganda? Such people are saboteurs. Such people are enemies number one of the people of Uganda. And therefore, the people must support the president of the Republic of Uganda to push hard. And we must press the balls of this criminals to maximum limit until they feel the pain and leave still in the public resources.
Okay, Matua, we are at a time where most of these MPs are eyeing a comeback.
Yes.
And I believe they could have allocated these resources to also really go back and also really make sure that they use this money to develop their constituencies. And one time we also had the president saying those who are involved in corruption are within also really are creating opportunities.
Thank you.
That is good. That is one thing he said.
Thank you very much.
Is it right? Is it not right really for these MPs to get that money in what may be way that we may not understand, but really if the money remains within the constituencies, this would also have its own negative or positive impacts on the constitution. What can you say about that?
The Constitution of the Republic of Uganda gives the functions of or the duties of an MOP to make laws, to appropriate budget, to carry oversight. I think that, and to represent the people of the constituency. Why can't they allocate the money they want to come and work in their constituencies, in their counties, in their district, in the budget? Yes? Is there any duty that an MP should come and distribute money in the constituency? Is there any duty that an MP should deliver an ambulance to the constituency? Is there any duty that an MP should go and bury people by buying coffins? Well, there are those other social responsibilities people may have. They are not within the provisions of the laws, existing laws of Uganda, and Uganda, being governed by the rule of law, must not accept whatsoever any scandalous activity of that nature. We must fight corruption head on and deal with it aggressively. Okay. Yes.
I know corruption could have had its own negative impacts on the economy and also really the country at large. What are those that you may be able to mention in maintaining your socio-economic activity?
Corruption disrupts development program, leading to substandard infrastructure being built.
Okay.
This road from ARUA city going to Nebi. Do you know why this road is disturbing our backs? By the time that road was constructed, our only brothers and sisters who were in a big position in this area disturbed the contractor by asking the contractor to give them fuel. The contractor gave them money and they went to compromise the quality of the road, reduce the size of the road, reduce the layer of the tarmac that was put. That is the consequence of corruption. Poor service delivery, poor infrastructure, distortions in our health facilities, no drugs in our hospitals, poor standard of education. Therefore, we must kill corruption now and redeem, salvage our country. Or else, the economy will be totally distorted, the government will become very unpopular, and the people of Uganda may reject the government by voting it out. So it is in the interest of the government of National Resistance Movement, led by General Retired Tibuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, to fight corruption now. Accordingly, in any... Sorry, Uganda has fallen down. We must put Uganda right. The people of Uganda, this is the Uganda. So Uganda cannot fall down. So, accordingly, the manifesto of NRM for the year 2021 to 2026 indicates clearly that NRM is committed to fight corruption, ensuring justice and equity. Number 2, public sector management and fighting corruption So even NRM, therefore, detailed it in the manifesto that it is committed to fight corruption. So the president is implementing the manifesto of NRM. The president is implementing the existing laws of Uganda. The president is upholding the constitution of the Republic of Uganda that he swore allegiance to and to the people of Uganda. I thank you very much.
Okay. I don't know if at all you have started what you got appointed for, because among your duties...
Before we go there, there is something I wanted to tell the people of Uganda. Paris Majid.
Yes, sir.
The people of Uganda should take a note of this.
The national ethical...
We have national values. I don't know whether you are aware of them.
Yes, I've read them.
Anyone who is a Ugandan should have the following values. And one of the reasons we are not doing well in terms of corruption fight is because our leaders, our elites, and our educated people and our citizens do not know the national values of Uganda. Uganda must have respect for humanity and environment. That is value one. A Ugandan must be honest, uphold and defend the truths at all times. And for somebody who is a northerner, this value is critical. In fact, in northern Uganda, you rather be poor and the relatives will take care of you if you uphold and defend the truths all the time. That is the definitive, that is the characteristic feature, the unique, peculiar feature of somebody called a northerner, and also a Ugandan value. Justice and fairness in dealing with others. Hard work for self-reliance. So if you find a Ugandan who does not work, that one is not a Ugandan according to the values we have here. Integrity, moral uprightness and sound character, creativity and innovativeness, social responsibility, social harmony, national unity, national consciousness, and patriotism. These are the values of the people of Uganda, and the values, the national values. So if we can all cherish these values very well, my brother Faris Majid, we will see corruption cases coming down.
Okay.
Now, the president has guided this country in a steady direction. The president of the Republic of Uganda wants us to achieve Vision 2040 by promoting social and economic transformation. This is the agenda you see me driving madly in ARUA city here. Even for Uganda to transition socially, for Uganda to transition economically, for Uganda to undertake effective socio-economic transformation, we must urgently fight corruption to give way for social economic transformation to take place. Otherwise, if corruption cases continue to escalate, then we will mark time in our attempt to transform socio-economically. I therefore want to call upon the people of Arua City, the technical officers, the political leaders, if you dare have any appetite for corruption, please and please and please and please, the lion, the anti-corruption lion is around. Play at your own risk. When I will get an evidence that so and so, person X, Y, Z has stolen public resources, and I have evidence, I have the fact, and I verify and validate it, I will press your balls until you will cry to your mother.
Well, that is Job Richard Matua, and now we want to make an assessment of how this will be able to impact on the electorates at the end of the day, and what can the voters also really learn from that, because the politicians definitely, this is going to be having an impact on them. Looking at the scandal that is happening at the parliament, what can the voters learn from this, and what can the parliamentarians who have not also really been involved in this scandal learn from?
One, the voters should be very careful. Please, don't send people who are corrupt to parliament. They will steal your own money. Money meant to bring drugs for you in the hospital. Money meant to build the schools, to build the hospitals, to construct the roads. So, please send people with integrity. By the way, in this part of Uganda, Western Nile, we have been sending people with integrity. I want to thank the MPs from Western Nile, that there is no single MP from Western Nile whose name has been mentioned anywhere there. Please and please don't get involved. Otherwise, I will lead the campaign against you.
There's one from Zombo, commissioner, who awarded the 1.
This one here, no, is not on the issue of this one who gave herself for the
1.7 part of the 1.7 billion.
Afoyo Chan. Actually, Afoyo Chan got there by accident. I don't know who gave her that thing. I encourage her to return that money. My sister to return that money. That money is sinful. that man will blackmail you. That man will remove you from parliament. Because the people of Western Isle hate anything. If there's anything the people of Western Isle hate the most, it is the corruption. It is the being unholy, being untruthful, being dishonest. And to the people of Arua City, how do we fight corruption? We fight corruption using facts, evidences, and the law. If a teacher is not going to classroom, and that teacher is being paid by government, the teacher is in the bar, instead of being in the class, report that teacher to me. That teacher will not get salary. No. Why should you get salary for work you have not done? Our national value says we should have hard work for self-reliance. If a health worker is coming late in the health center, that is corruption. If money meant to do the roads is not being accounted for by any division clerk, by the city clerk, that one is corruption. We shall not allow that. We must therefore protect the interest of the people. And there is another case of corruption which we are following in the parish development model. The people of Western Isle and the people of Arua City and Uganda. Parish development model is to benefit households. Each household is that qualifies is supposed to get 1 million. I am beginning to hear stories that there are some households where somebody gives the money to the wife, to the daughter, and to the son, the same household. That is corruption. And in case such things are happening, please come forward and report to us. I'm beginning to hear that in Zombo and in AB, people are paying money to access parish development fund. Please report those people to the RDC's office. Report them to the leaders. Report them to the MOPs. Parish development model money is accessed free of charge. For those who don't qualify for parish development model, there are other government programs to benefit you. EMIOGA is there. Small and Medium Enterprise Fund. Government had 100 billion lying in a commercial bank to be borrowed by people who have capacity to borrow just at 10% interest per annum. Okay. That money is lying there. 3 years down the road, banks have just lent 5 billion of that 100 billion. 3 years down the road. I don't know whether banks are also in the conspiracy of stealing the people of Uganda, sabotaging economic development of the people of Uganda, by keeping such money in treasury bills and bonds instead of lending it for the people of Uganda. Those who don't, like the teachers, the health workers, the civil servants, there are other government money you can pick at low interest rate for your part. Parish development model is meant to benefit that very last mile person who does not get even 1,000 shilling in a month. That is the person we want to lift up to do economic activity, to enter the money economy. And I want to encourage all the people of Western Isle, please, every family, do something to bring money. Even if you plant an acre of dodo, in the town here, just some bundle of dodo like this is 3,000. If you have an acre, you can get even 1 million. Can't you pay fees for your children? Can't you buy clothes for your wife? Can't you make your wife to plait their hair? Can't you make your wife to look beautiful for you before yourself using the money? So therefore, I encourage the people of Uganda to be religious in the war against corruption. This is a genuine war. I am declaring a jihad against this corruption. Starting from Arua City, radiating everywhere in Uganda.
You're not talking about corruption infiltrating the PDM. This is a reality because we have been moving on ground where the people have been complaining that sometimes these PDM officers ask for money from them. And I believe this is now corruption at the grassroots levels. But we have seen corruption starting from the right, from the top at Parliament, where at the beginning of this year,
PDF people asking money from the people. Jesus of Nazareth and Muhammad of Makkah. Peace be upon him.
Of 10,000 up to 20,000 for processing the papers, and also really saying that this money is going
processing
to
which papers.
This is what they have been saying, that this is the information the local people have been giving us, and we are saying that is now at the downer level, but we have been seeing corruption being also really clearly exhibited at the top level. And recently, during a State of Nation address by the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, he actually did talk about it, that some people connive with officers at Parliament to also really allocate these monies for themselves. I don't know what you can say about that, about some finance officers who move to Parliament and also really make sure that they do play some games here and there so that so really they can't be able to be given this money here. And how has that been able to also really affect the other sectors of the country?
Yeah, thank you very much. To the people of Uganda, it is very true that there are people in the government who are very corrupt. I don't want to deny that. By the way, denial is itself a sin.
And it's mostly perpetrated, it's mostly shown among the public service.
The public servants have become dishonest to the people of Uganda. But to be in public service like me, you are to serve everybody. FDC, NUP, NRM, UPC, DP. I am assistant resident city commissioner of all these people. That is why I work for all of them. And to the people of Uganda, if they are such kind of accounting officers, if they are such kind of public officials who want to dare steal money meant to give services for you people, please don't keep quiet. The Constitution empowers you under Article 17, close one eye, that you should combat that corruption. Please report. Come to my office. Go to leaders. If they don't help you, raise the alarm, because it is your duty to defend Uganda at all times and ensure her wellness as Objective 29 of 1995 Constitution under the national objectives and directive principles of state policy states. So therefore, our people, the youths, the women, the elderly, religious leaders, cultural leaders, political leaders, civil servants, where you are, be an IGG there where you are. Everybody should be IGG. Your eyes should see how things are going on. And to my people of Yumbe, government is going to construct our road from Koboko to Yumbe to Moyo, and then from Moyo to Laropi, and they are going to construct the bridge. Everybody should put their eyes on the road. Can you imagine? We are going to do a road there of 103.8 kilometers. That road is going to be done at a cost of 490 billion Ugandan cedi. Paris Majid.
Yes, sir.
Now, that road must look like a Entebbe Express Highway. And I can tell you, when you see people stealing fuel there, ring me directly. I'm now near here in Arua City. I will drive there immediately. I will give orders to make arrest. When you see people stealing tires of the vehicle, when you see material, cement being stolen, when you see materials lime being stolen, when you see the material, tarmac material being stolen, report these people, so that money must do that road, must do some road in Nebi town, must do some road in Koboko town, must do some road in Moyo town. That road must leave us, that project, that money must leave us better. It is the World Bank funded project. Okay,
but sometimes we have seen the stakeholders already being the one promoting this corruption. They got these contractors asking for fuel, asking for money. What can you say about this?
That is why Matua Job Richard is here. One of my special assignments is to oversee such issues. Don't you think it's only restricted in Arua City? Dare to go there and ask for it. You will regret for the rest of your life. Paris Majid, I don't have any mercy for anything called corruption. I would rather be dead in a ditch than to fail to defend my country. I want my children to ever hear that their father led the assault to clean Uganda, to Ashidiwas Uganda, to redeem and salvage the country and give a better country to my two wonderful children, Justice Kenneth Job India and Musmenta Jacqueline, Pretoria Lenia. I want them to live in a better Uganda where I am. Okay. That Uganda I must create it today by fighting corruption effectively.
You're not worried of fighting the corruption?
I don't fear.
Okay.
Let me tell you, should we all fold our hands or clap our hands for the corrupt people? Should we sing for them glory?
Okay.
I will not do that. Please and please. I have no apology to that effect. Yes, we must fight corruption. My wife, I always make her to account before me. When I was in Chankwanze, I sent her 1 million. When I came back, I asked for the accountability of that money. And I questioned certain things. Why should I allow my wife to be corrupt? And she knows that. And she knows that I am a no-nonsense person in terms of corruption. That does not mean I am a man of a parent. No. I account for it. Say, my husband, Atenyi, you know, my wife calls me Atenyi. And I call her Tochi. My wife is a Munyoro. So there you give your wife a petty name. The wife also gives the husband a petty name. Okay. So I want you to say, Atenyi, I bought 10 kilograms of posho for the children at this cost. And I will go and verify from the soap whether that is the cost. Yes. Corruption fighting should actually start at the family level. When we make our family people to come up uprightly, when we clean our family members, then we would have cleaned Uganda. Because Uganda is made up of people coming from the various families, which are the basic units, which are like cells of the living body, of a living thing.
Okay.
They amalgamate. They pile together to form the living thing. Okay. So the families pile together to form Uganda. Families are the basic unit of a nation, and therefore at family level we must question the income of our people. My wife always questions my income. I account to her how I have gotten the money. If I have sold my rats, by the way, I'm a commercial rat farmer. When I tell people that, they really laugh and they don't know the money. Last year you never brought rats for senior 6. People of Uganda, there were 18,000 senior 6 students doing biology. And UNEB wanted that every person must have a rat. Can I tell you what? As the chairman of Uganda Rat Farmers, we sold 1 rat at 50,000. So multiply 50,000 by 18,000 students in Uganda. How rich we are, the rat farmers. So when you see me assemble myself in a nice suit like this, it is not the public money that I've stolen. It is the money I get from the sale of my own sweat by keeping my rats.
So
and I am going to bring a branch here in ARUA city.
That means the rest of the leaders could actually learn from that. You are talking about socio-economic transformation as one of the agendas that you and your colleagues have been appointed for. And in a similar way, first of all, I want to congratulate all those who successfully went through, that is Chankanzi, because not everybody made it through from that stage. And that is why we're saying that is actually one thing also we are now looking forward to. And now, who is Job Matua Richard in terms of solely coming back out from there? Because now he has officially been bestowed with the powers to solely make sure that they champion, that is the fight against corruption. In just 1 minute, as we run to the end of the first hour with.
Oh, thank you very much. To the people of Uganda, Matua has come back well packaged, loaded with the good news for you. I am going to read for you government program from which you can benefit. Resources that you can get, invest in commercial agriculture. But when we talk about commercial agriculture, the other day I was in the hospital and a certain nurse, the head of nurse, was telling me this thing needs a lot of money. I asked her, to plant an acre of Osubi, how much do you need to buy the seeds? To plant an acre of Bamio, okra, how much money do you need for the seed? And I want to thank some of the people like Dr. Aliti Tom, who are supplying seeds. Dr. Aliti Tom, my brother, Mr. Adumajastad, who are distributing seeds for the farmer. The rain is now here. Plant something and come to sell here. Have poultry. Mr. Mandua Charles, I brought the savior here. Mr. Mandua Charles is promoting a concept of local chicken value chain. What is that concept? You can start with 10 hens and 1 cock. Those the 11 parent stock of birds. How can you increase them to become 3,500 in a year? This is the easy concept. Our local chicken is easy to be kept here. We have been keeping it, but not in a better way. Mr. Mandua is teaching us how we can keep it in some improved way. How we can show it some little love by building for it a house, by ensuring the biosecurity, by supplementing the food that they usually go hustling for. Now, in ARUA city here, Forest Majid,
yes, sir,
we eat 1,500 trays of eggs weekly. After here, I am going to take breakfast with an egg being there. Unfortunately, the eggs we are eating here are brought from Wakiso and Kambala.
Talking about breakfast, I think we should first run for this short commercial break that will be able to usher us into more of that discussion. And really,
when I come back, you'll give me enough time to lay down this issue.
Discussing that with you, dear viewer. This is the KOKOLIRIKO live show on West Nile TV. We are live on Startimes, channel 477, and online across all our social media platforms. And we hope you are having a wonderful time. But for now, we are going to be running for yet another short commercial break. And when we bounce back, Job Richard Matua will still be taking us in the fight against corruption. Stay tuned.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Kane, Sané, Griezmann, Lewandowski, and many more. Who is your European star? We are very familiar with all German stadia. Trust us to give you the best Euro experience affordably. Catch the matches live on NBS Sport, channel 255 on antenna or channel 199 on Dish Decoder on Star Times. We got your stars. This message is brought to you by Star Times Solar. Star Times Solar, more than just solar.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial breather. We are back. This is the KOKOLIRIKO live show on West Nile TV, channel 477 on the Star Times, and also really online across all our social media platforms. You can be able to access us via Facebook, via X, and also really YouTube. And this is where you will be able to watch us anytime and any day and from anywhere across the world. And that is the beauty of West Nile TV. And this is also really a reason you should not be worried in case you are about to leave Uganda and you're about to leave West Nile and thinking that you are not going to be accessing West Nile TV. But we are saying that shouldn't be your worry. You can watch us anytime. And earlier on, Job Richard Matua was still talking about socioeconomic transformation and how I wish he takes it over from there. You're most welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. My people of ARUA City, one of the major challenges we are having in Western Nile here, starting with the ARUA City, is socioeconomic challenge. Our people are poor. Why? Because our people have failed to relate the God-given wealth of land, abundance of land in northern Uganda, to money and prosperity. What are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Land is a factor of production. Land is an asset. Land is a capital. How can we use the available land we have to translate it into money and then prosperity? What is Majida with there?
Yes, sir.
Now, I am encouraging all the people in ARUA City, do something to earn money. By the way, when we talk about peasants, we don't only mean farmers, people who grow crops only for consumption. Even we have peasants in the cities, people who live hand to mouth. You get me? They do ledger. People who do ledger are also peasants. You get me? So this, we must really reduce the peasants we have. Now, I want to thank people like Madame Violet. I'm encouraging Western Nile TV. Have you heard of Madame Violet?
Yes.
There's a lady in Oluko who is having a wonderful farm. She's practicing the 4-acre model. I encourage West Nile TV to go there and see. I encourage our people to go there and see. In Maracha, we have a man called Wole in Okokoro there, who is doing wonderfully well in terms of commercial agriculture. I encourage people from Maracha to go and see what Mr. Wole is doing. By the way, Wole was my teacher. He taught for me English at Kidomoro SL. Even if it means planting tomatoes, planting onions, Farid Majid,
yes,
the onions which are sold in ARUA main market, the tomatoes which are sold in ARUA main market,
come from
onions are coming from Masaka and Mitiana. No, tomatoes are coming from Masaka and Mitiana. Onions are coming from eastern Uganda, Mbale, and the Kisoro.
And Irish
potatoes are coming from there. Eggs are coming from Wakiso and the Kampala.
What does that mean? What does that tell
It means that we are not producing. We are not using the land we have. And I'm told in Katini, Paris, I want to thank the Paris priest of Katini, that white father. Have you been in Katini?
Yes, I've been to Katini.
The white father is rearing poultry there, even which are laying egg. And I encourage the black priest, please learn from the white man. If somebody can come from Italy and now keep poultry in Katini, what are the black priests doing in the parishes where they are? So even the church leaders, I'm encouraging you, join me. The teachers in the classroom, let us preach to our people socio-economic transformation. Let our people do things to earn income. I can assure you, with my salary, I'm going to get as RCC. I am going to start goats farm here in Evora here. And I will take even the West Nile TV staff to go and learn from me.
So, Mr. Matua,
yes.
I
so
believe
the issue, I was still bringing something. So the poverty we have in West Nile
has it contributed to the corruption we're talking about?
Yes, the poverty we have in West Nile is poverty of the mind. If you plant bamio, okra,
yes,
in this rain, an acre of okra, you are going to get close to 1 million. The sweet pepper, this green pepper. There is a younger man of my late relative called Fekwa, the son of Fekwa, who is doing this thing in the Lamela there. Even eggplant, biringanya, when you plant it in this rain, you are going to get money. So my people, let us stop thinking about tobacco, cotton as a cash crop. Now everything is a cash crop. Faris Majid,
yes, sir.
Even bean is a cash crop. Can I tell you, my people of northern Uganda, a kilo of beans, there are seasons when it even goes to 5,000, 6,000. If you have 1,000 kilograms of beans times 6,000, you have 6 million. What Majid is saying that? Yes, can you fail to pay fees for your children? Can you fail to buy meat at home? Can you fail to buy anyafura at home? Can you fail to buy clothes for the children? I am therefore encouraging everybody that don't remain poor. Poverty is a sin. And if you die poor, rest assuredly, you are going to hell. A poor person has a bad thoughts. Balio rumasi onji. Alio erizata. Balio rengamu fibua achimalea. Ejwa darisi. Ejwa zaman dia lubara nekini agu ose kadra. Orende ne mamwafa ali parimo kere malia. Mi orende chwafa ali parimo kere malia dere mi mvi. Mina wirni unitafa zo kuiri bairozo achisi e makozo zorle adubi rodia dia dirogusimo. Orende bela mini ne ba oku droba mani pati barifa malia sedia. Orende fe banje kwa bano duko de badi ba dale di orende ke ba orende na valizo parimo kere malia ko e ina anje kozo unita koko ko anje chandinya ba ke anjoga ogarasi anje foki oguru di meyoni. Eyodisi ba dale di belevere pa orende onji aramu didi maza ko bani mazioda. But the people who don't understand Lubarati, what I am saying is that there is a habit of us people in Uganda, especially the Christians and the Muslims, to say that when God has died, we say, may his soul rest in eternal peace. I am asking, can your soul rest in peace when your son that you did not educate is a thief in ARUA city here, has stolen a phone, is still used the charcoal stove from the homes of people, and is being roasted, is being burned with the petrol here in ARUA city for stealing? Can such a soul rest in peace? That statement is relative. I assure you, the souls which are disturbing our women, chasing our women in a forest like Barifa, the souls which make our children not to sleep, are souls of those people who are not resting in peace because they did not empower their children by educating them. by laying foundation for them to become okay. Such people will never and never rest in peace, and assuredly they will go to hell.
Okay, what about those who are still in government funds at the top level, and these are all kids because whether they like it or not, and if you are misappropriating money that was
when we were in Chankwanji, the Deputy Inspector General of Government, Council Kuisha, which was an army officer, by the way, there's a man who has been stealing resources of the public. He was the accounting officer, he was a cow. I tell you, God sent punishment to that man. He got a problem to the extent that he went to confess to the IGG that he is suffering because of the sins he has committed. And I want to tell the people who are stealing, the people of Uganda, you are going to hell, rest assuredly. There's no choice. You repent, change, abandon corruption, and return what you have stolen to the people, for you will go to hell.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. And then, Matua, most of the time we have seen several interventions to make the people understand that corruption is bad. Not among is the national ethical values.
Yes.
Which among others also really is being pushed by the ethics and everything, which also really calls for people to also really have mindset change. Who exactly is supposed to do that? Because we have also seen a number of things which have not yielded much.
Very good.
And make sure each and everybody understands.
You have asked me a very wonderful question. I want to thank you for that question. I want to call it a good question. My brother Farid Majid, the following should be in the lead against corruption. First and foremost, the people of Uganda. The money stolen is your money. That money is meant to put drugs in your health center. That money is meant to recruit teachers in your schools. That money is to construct roads for you and for us all. The people of Uganda must be number one to lead the fight against corruption. And they have been empowered by Article 17, Clause 1I, under the duties of citizen. Number two, all family leaders, the fathers, whether mother. By the way, some families are led by mother. That's why I'm very, very particular when I say family leader. There are families where the men there are just a male. Do you know a male? Yes. A male is an animal with a penis. I'm a biology teacher. A man is by responsibility. You get me? Yeah. So there are families where we have males, not men. Okay? For Majid and the people of Uganda. There are families where we have males because of nature. Of having the stick, the holy stick. Then in such a family, it is the women who are leaders. So I'm very particular here. The family leaders must lead against corruption. Don't allow children who steal. Prosecute them properly using the existing legal framework. Teach your children well. Teach your children the habits that will make you glorious. The Bible says those who teach their children will be proud of their children. So the family heads must lead the fight against corruption. Okay. Then anti-corruption agencies, if you are the IGG, use that office effectively. Farid Majid, if you put Matua in that office just for 1 year, some corrupt people will take off to exile. I am telling you, very many corrupt people will go to exile. In that 1 year, I will recover not less than 2 trillion of the stolen money. Whether it is hidden outside Uganda or what, I will return it. Then we have the political leader. Please, the leadership is about transformation of society. Are you going to transform society by stealing from the people? You will lose legitimacy. You will lose the trust of the people. The people will not give you respect. So the leader, the political leader, please lead it. The RDCs, assistant RDCs, who have been designated to fight corruption, please, can you do the right thing? Let me tell you, if I find any of the RDCs or RCCs fighting corruption, I will be the first person to report them to Inspector General of Government, to Anti-Corruption Unit of State House, because they are the leaders in monitoring and supervision of government programs, in ensuring that corruption does not take place. The LOC wants the councillors. I said that, what are they doing? Why should an LOC1 keep quiet when why should the parish chief keep quiet when teachers in the schools, by the way, according by government by government policy, every parish is supposed to have a government primary school. Why should the parish chief, why should the local leaders in that place see teachers in a bar instead of being in a classroom and keep quiet? Yet when these teachers are going to be paid by money collected from the same people in form of taxes, so therefore the media should lead. Faris Majid,
yes, sir.
The corrupt people fear exposure more than any other thing. They can corrupt their ways in courts, they can corrupt their ways in investigation agencies, but the corrupt people fear exposure that being put on the camera here, that is so and so the corrupt. They fear it so much and they are always on the run. So the media should not work with the corruption people, the corrupt people, the corrupt and the obscenely dirty people. The media should deliberately side with the people of Uganda by effectively exposing, putting on the air the corrupt people. And I tell you, doing so will scale down these escalating cases of corruption. Okay. Thank you.
You're not talking about the local people. Sometimes they may want to fight corruption, but they don't know what exactly to do and where exactly to go to.
Now, that is your duty as the media, to educate them. Are you doing the right thing?
Yes, this is what we are doing right now.
Now, thank you very much. Thank you very much for doing the right thing. Faris Majid.
Yes, sir.
Going forward.
In this instance, what should they do? Because I may have my mother deep down in Maracha who is there and is facing a challenge of corruption. He or she could have moved to an office and they have asked for something small, what we call the kitu kidogo always, but doesn't know what to do and doesn't know where to go to. In this instance,
by the way,
how do you guide?
There is a lady in Arua city here who has issues related to land. There's a man who has been bringing that lady to my office. The other day, the lady told me that the man told him that she should give 20,000 that he was going to bring it to me. And I told the lady, I have not seen that money and I have not asked for money. And I'm waiting for the next time the man will come. I will have him arrested. Okay. That is obtaining money by false pretense. I see that? I am telling you, he is not going to only return 20. I will want him to pay that lady 5 times. So he's going to pay that lady 100,000. Okay. That will be deterrent enough for him to stop that appetite. There are people who go to the communities and tell them that, particularly to the business people, who go and tell them that the RCC needs some money to solve your issue. We in the RCC office led by my boss, Mr. Charles Ichogoro, offer free services. We don't need payment for serving the people of Uganda. We are in those offices to serve the people. If there's anybody who goes to you out there to say we need the money to do something for you, report that person immediately. If possible, arrest that person and take the person to police. For we don't need money to do good to the people of Uganda. We are public servants. We are at the service of you people. We are at the service of mankind. We are not corrupt at all, and we will not accept our name to be tarnished. Okay. For I am a national icon in fighting corruption. How can I dare to come and take somebody's 20,000? If I refuse the 2 billion the corrupt people of NSSF wanted to give me, how will I then accept the 20,000? I have a bigger name to defend. Okay. In Uganda, in East Africa, in Africa, and internationally. Okay. For God and my country.
You're not talking about arrests. I believe these people can be arrested. And I believe also as well, it's not that we have not had also really strategies that also really are there to address the issue of corruption. Yes. One, we have the laws. Yes. That have also been put there, and one thing that you mentioned is the 1995 Constitution as amended, yes, which also among others talks about corruption. Then we have other forms of laws, anti-corruption laws, which are all there, but these have not yielded very much. Let me come back. Let me first come to that. Where has the gap been over these years? And your government of NRM has also really been very, very much also being painted with that image of corruption. And that is why recently we did see appointment of assistant district and city commissioners. And among other duties, they have been charged with to fight corruption. Yes. Where has the gap been?
Now, I want to, the gap has been ignorance of the citizens of, one of the gaps has been ignorance, I call it misleading, ignorance of the people of Uganda about the laws that empowers them to fight corruption. The people of Uganda, on my hand is the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Article 41. rights of access to information. What is Majid, are you here?
Yes.
You are free to go to the cow to ask the cow to give you the city budget and accountability under the provisions of Section 3 of Access to Information Act 2005 pursuant of Article 41 of the Constitution of 1995, which reads, every citizen, close one, every citizen has a right of access to information in possession of the state or any other organ or agency of the state, except where the release of the information is likely to prejudice the security or sovereignty of the people of the state or interfere with the rights to the privacy of any other person. In other words, Faris Majid, who is hosting me here, is empowered by law
To go and ask
to go and ask information from me,
But in Arua
from
City,
government agency.
sorry to cut you short,
Are
we
they
have a
giving you the
tendency-
information?
We have some tendency of some officers in Arua City in particular who say they always give information on particular days. And in most cases, if you move on these days, you never find, you hardly find them because they may say, we are giving information only on Wednesday. And that is it. Any day you come, they will tell you, always we give information
I want to
on
protect.
Wednesday.
I want to protect you.
I wouldn't wish to mention that, but this is happening. It's already.
No, I want to protect you. Any public servant, any government official that you ask for information and they refuse to give you, you come to my office.
Okay.
I will order for arrest of that person for abusing the Constitution, for breach of the Constitution, for disrespect of Section 3 of Access to Information Act 2005. And anything you ask relating to information in public interest is pursuant of Article 41 of 1995 Constitution as amended. Thank you.
Okay, that is it. I don't know, as finally we get to move on with the discussion, we're just left with about 7 minutes.
Yes.
How is the corruption scandal going to be impacting on these MPs whose names have already been painted with that?
Very
what
good.
What do we expect at the end of the day?
Number one, I want to thank majority of our MPs from Western Nile and Northern Uganda for not being mentioned in the ongoing arrest in Parliament. By the way, so far so good. Even the 2 MPs that are to be arrested any time from now are not coming from Northern Uganda. I already know their names.
Okay.
So I don't want to mention it for the public because they may run away. We may miss that opportunity to have them embarrassed by being arrested. You know what it means to arrest an MP? You saw how the Akamba was arrested.
From a VIP life, I saw headlines stating...
And some people were yelling, oh, he was arrested badly, Simanya that, Batayodini. When they were messing up the budget of Uganda, was it a simple thing? How many people were going to die if the budget was messed up? Is it better to have them kill the people of Uganda than to arrest them forcefully? People of Uganda, stop romancing, stop dilly-dallying with the corruption. In fact, if they had even broken his leg, I would be happy. Yes.
Okay.
What he was doing is more worse than his arrest. We should stop romancing wrong things.
Okay.
You get me?
Yes.
Let us call these, people who are stealing from the public should be called thugs. And we must deal with them the way we deal with thugs.
Okay.
I would have been happy if his balls were even pressed maximally.
You're not talking about that. We did see him also already getting
you
bail.
ask me.
He was granted bail. But shortly after some period of time, he was again rearrested.
He was arrested because he has other cases. He was arrested outside the precincts of the court.
Yes.
He was not arrested inside the court.
Court had granted him the bail.
No, on one issue, but he has another case. These corrupt people don't only steal one thing, they keep stealing everywhere they go.
Okay.
So the arrest was proper. In fact, how I wish the security officer had pressed his balls. Because what they are doing to the people of Uganda, the pains, the cries, the suffering they cause to the people of Uganda are more than any other thing.
Okay.
They're worse than even if they arrest, people are calling us brutal.
Okay.
To the MOPs, please, if you joke, these things are on a record. You may lose your positions. You may not have another term. It is in your interest that you keep your names away from this thing. Who will hide these things? The voters are seen in this information age.
Okay.
The information goes everywhere. Now everybody knows that they are arrested. You will lose your position.
Okay.
Your children will get a bad name. In the future, your children will not be elected because of your bad record. You will condemn it. You will curse your generation.
Okay.
In the interest of the people of Uganda, in the interest of your generation, your children, your family members, your relatives, please stay away from corruption.
Okay,
cases.
finally, I want to make an
By the way,
understanding.
I want to thank very much the MPs from Western Nile, the majority. They are not mentioned there. Only one, the Honorable Afoyo-Chan.
Okay.
It is, I hope she will have to explain to the people of Uganda. In any case, the people will decide what to do with her.
Okay.
The choice is there.
Okay, and then talking about that, we also did see appointment of also new chairpersons, where our own Feta Geoffrey also really emerged as one of the chairpersons. I don't know what message you could be able to also redirect these.
My message to
chairpersons.
Honorable Feta Geoffrey, my brother, my senior brother, is that now that you have gotten that prestigious position, first of all, I congratulate you very much. Can you use that position to build your national profile? But this is what I want to tell all of us who are appointed. You see what I am doing here in the city? I am doing that because I want to do it to give glory to my government. Can you build a national profile using that position? Can you stay away from corruption? Doing so, the next thing could be becoming a minister. By the way, ministers are selected usually from those the chairperson of the committees. So use the position well, in a proper way, consistent with the values, the ethical values outlined in the policy here of national ethical values of Uganda. I thank you very much. And to those who lost the position, well, you have already served giveaways to other people. There is another day you will get tomorrow. Okay. So don't get a big cry that they threw me away and what. Remain serving the government. NRM is for everybody. Okay. And that's why here in Arua City, I am serving everybody. For me, I don't even know that anyone here is in another party. Even those who tell me they're in opposition, I just know they are just there for a few minutes. They will come to my side. I see all of them as NRM. The reason I serve all of them with the same heart, with the same faith, with the same love.
Okay.
Yes.
As we are just left the 2 minutes to end the discussions, your final words?
My final word is this. Leaders, political, cultural, religious, please, let's unite our people. Let's practice politics that is desirable. The good politics is about bringing the changes in our people that can cause transformation in our society. Send children to school. Western Nile is doing bad in terms of education. And to those who are my friends, if you happen to be my friend, and you call yourself my friend, I am collecting 50 million to go and build girls' dormitory at the St. Mary's Ediofe Girls SM. We have over 1,000 girls from Western Nile and other parts of Uganda studying there. The city has condemned their dormitory that is bad. We are building for them a dormitory of 1.18 billion Ugandan cedi. In the fundraising, a little money was raised. If you are my friend, you contribute at least anything you can contribute. I'm raising 50 million to go and contribute there as a contribution of friends of MATUA, Job Richard, the RCC. Anyone who will not contribute anything, I will stop friendship with you. What is the importance of friendship without any benefit? Maybe you are benefiting from me, which is the parasitism. Friendship in any relationship must be symbiotic. Both of us would benefit. That is not money which I am going to use on myself or on my family. I will deliver it. I will deliver it to a Ediofe Girls asset. It will be given there. Those who send direct to the school account, they will read the accountability in your name. Building a school is building Western Nile for God and my country. I love you all.
All right, thank you so much, Job Richard MATUA, for coming through to also talk to the people of Western Nile sub-region and the country at large. And I hope you, as the viewer, you had a wonderful time right from the time we began. That was at 7 o'clock until this hour of the morning. We hope you had enjoyed the discussion, and that is one thing also really we thank you very much for coming through to talk to the people. And for those who picked something, we shouldn't keep this information to ourselves, but rather we need to extend the information to the rest of the colleagues out there. So that's also really the information we have discussed here has an impact on somebody's life out there, and that brings us to the end of the discussions. My name remains Farish Majid as we bounce back with our topics. Stay tuned.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
Shukran.
We are running for a short commercial break.
When I say shukran, you say afwan.
We shall be able to continue with the conversation.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Kane, Sané, Griezmann, Lewandowski, and many more. Mbappe! Who is your European star? We are very familiar with all German stadia. Trust us to give you the best Euro experience affordably. Catch the matches live on NBA Sport, channel 255 on antenna or channel 199 on Dish Decoder on Star Times. We got your stars. This message is brought to you by Star Times Solar. Star Times Solar, more than just solar.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break, and now we are in the evening of the show, and we want to now see other stories. And earlier on, we are with Matua Job Richard, Assistant Resident City Commissioner for Arua City, and we are talking about issues related to corruption in the country. And now we also want to continue with the discussions, but yet in another context now, where we are starting off the discussions with the new committee chairpersons, also really vowing to move corruption out of Parliament in there. And this is something also really we are seeing on the morning, where Parliament's newly installed committee chairpersons and vice chairpersons have pledged to stomp out corruption out of Parliament. In separate interviews, the leaders pledged to support President Museveni's anti-corruption fight, particularly also really targeting corrupt officials within the 11th Parliament in there. And the incoming chairperson of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Ms. Catherine Lamwaka, tasked her team to stick to their roles and prevent selfish interests also that undermine the electorates. And that is one thing also really we are seeing her very, very much also really talking on this morning. And we also do have Ms. Linda Agnes Auma, who has been elevated to chairperson of the Agriculture and Animal Industry and Fisheries Committee, who also similarly also really pledged the same way and to also really fight against corruption. And remember, corruption has been corruption. Many of the times we have been singing songs about corruption. And remember, while growing up as a young boy, there was a song that was about corruption, something for something, nothing for nothing. And this has continued to live up to date. What haven't we done? And what should we do that so that solely this long that has been there for quite a long period of time is put aside? Because we need to make sure that we live in a society that is free from corruption. And given the fact that also Matua was earlier on here to explain to us the dangers of corruption, and means we can still also do away with corruption. And who exactly is supposed to do that? And then it means it is me and you. And when I talk about me and you, I mean you, the viewer, and also I. We all have a part to play in terms of solely fighting corruption, because once we do not fight corruption, corruption. Trust me, several initiatives of the government are going to be ruined like that. And many times people have been talking about failure of some of these government interventions, more so in relation to poverty eradication. For instance, look at the youth livelihood, look at the Ntanikwa, the Bonabagagawale, the parish development model which is currently running, and then the Myoga plus the rest, which have all been there by the government of Uganda to make sure that the citizens move out of poverty, have not yielded much. And what has been the factor behind them not yielding very much? It has been attributed to corruption, and that is why we are saying we must condemn corruption. And issues of where we have been saying that these are our children, in most of the local governments where we are seeing also already some of these local officials, more so the technocrats, are being also already being hailed from the areas. And in most cases, when we see them also already being arrested for corruption, people come out and say, these are our children. And I believe that factor has been also already contributing to corruption. And that's why we're saying people must desist from corruption, because corruption is something that at the end of the day would also really undermine the country's efforts to development in there. Ms. Moses Aleper, the new vice chairperson of the Committee on Finance, and also really highlighted the need for professionalism to also really improve committee's image and ensure proper conduct of the officials in there. And that's something also really we did see him also really talking on. And we did see so many of those initiatives also really being raised by the committees, and so many of these committee members also really spoke. And these are the chairpersons where we do have also really Rosemary Nyakikongoro, as well also talking on the same matter. And remember, she has been also appointed as the chairperson Gender and Labor Committee, where she vowed to expose and punish any member also involved in corruption, ensuring the budgeted funds are fully utilized as planned in there. Because many of the times we have had challenges where money that was meant to be used for this, we see people diverting it. And that's why we're saying, you as the viewer who got the parish development model, did you use the money for the right activity that you actually asked it for? Because many times we have seen people solely drawing the plans as well, where somebody can be able to come up with a BLQ to have a poultry farm. But when the money comes, we have seen them buying hoofers, we have seen them buying mattresses, we have seen them using this money for marrying. Really, is that what we asked this money for? This is why we're saying that is still a form of corruption, and that is something also really we must also really desist from, because corruption is never going to make us realize our dreams in terms of also really development in there. And really, that is one thing also really we must always talk of, and all the stakeholders must play their roles in terms of also really making this money also really realize its intended purpose. And that is one thing also really we must also talk about. And yesterday, on a sad note, but really we must praise God for what happened to our own, who actually also survived death in there, where 5 guards have now been arrested after threatening to shoot at Minister Nyamutoro. This is something also we did see happening yesterday, and this was in Rubanda, where now the police in Rubanda district in western Uganda have detained 5 guards attached to a private security firm on allegations that they also attempted to shoot. That is one of the ministers also that's identified as Fiona Nyamutoro, who is the State Minister for Energy and Minerals Development, who had gone to that area to also supervise and also look at what was happening at one of the illegal mining farms in there. And that is something also we did see happening yesterday. And she actually came out also to ask for those behind the minerals also really to be arrested first, because they are the ones that issued the instruction. And she believes these people could have given a warning also to whoever will turn out maybe to this place for shooting. And that's something also really we did see happening yesterday. But we thank God she is alive and nothing bad happened to her. But really we also really say people must desist from tendencies of taking the laws in their hands, because earlier on we're talking about untouchables, and they believe there could be an untouchable there, because really we do not expect somebody to say shoot, because we know at the end of the day, after pulling the trigger, somebody's life could be in danger. And that's why we're saying people must desist from tendencies of taking the laws into their hands. And other than that, we are going to be seeing people also really very, very much also really taking the laws in their hands. And that would also really, at the end of the day, lead to loss of lives in. And we did see the minister who doubles as youth representative of the 11th Parliament receiving a complaint from the directors of STEAM that the exploration also site had been trespassed out by on unknown site, also unknown people who were mining illegally without license, allegedly working on, that is John Muruli Muyambe and National Cement Company in there. And this is one thing we did see happening yesterday, and now we are yet following up on that matter. And this is in relation to what exactly will be happening to these people, because we expect them to be brought to book for their illegal activities. First of all, for illegally pulling out trigger. This is the security agency firms. I don't know where they got the training from. And then secondly, also those who are behind also really the protection of this mine, also really the activity in there, because these are the untouchables who were already earlier on talking about. We also really expect them now to be also really brought also really to book in there, because other than that, that would mean a lot, and that's one thing also really we expect that to also really be addressed on, and that would also really at the end of the day mean a lot, because we want to make sure that whoever is doing something in the country is not doing it illegally. Other than that, we are going to be still seeing so many people also really very, very much engaged on bad activities, and that is where we come to the end of the discussions. But really, to summarize the discussions with what is happening in the world of sports, remember, so many games are going on. That is also in different parts of the world, where in Copa America we also have games as well, where we did see in Group A, Argentina beating, that is Canada, by 2-0. We also do have in Group D games also going on, where Poland will be playing against Austria today, and that's one thing we also did see yesterday. And remember, so many of these games also already shall be going on, and yesterday also already we did have games also already as well going, and that is where we want to come to the end of today's discussions. Hope you had a wonderful time right from the time we began until this hour of the morning. My name remains Farish Majid, and up next is the news bulletin in Lubarati with Mukulia Lawrence, who should be preparing by now. Aniale diba madilu bararu tidi nibara dia I retezuri ni anire de muidio de refetia quarisi le dia ama terete rini muria get kwadle. For now, I'm stopping here, and we shall be able to continue with the discussions on Monday, because day marks our final end for the KOKOLIRIKO live show for this week, and we shall be able to bounce back on Monday for yet another edition. My name remains Farish Majid. I'm out until next week. Have yourselves a good day and a good weekend as well.